guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today and watching this video. Obviously, as you can tell by the title, today is very, very exciting. Before you ask, no, I haven't lost my mind. No, I haven't gone crazy. I just really love rats. I now have seven. I have seven rats. So I did recently adopt 3 new rats. I'm going to tell you guys everything about the adoption process because I did a little bit of a different thing this time, and introduce you guys at the end of the video to my 3 new babies. So yeah, let's just get into it. So usually when I get new rats, I usually rehome them from selling sites, but I did choose to contact a sanctuary / rescue that was near my area and asked them if they had any rats that needed rehoming. So the rescue that I got them from is called Tatty, Ratties, and it is in Southend, which is near to London. It is run by a woman called Vicky Anson. She does usually do home checks. During COVID times, she wasn't able to come around to my house. So instead we did have a FaceTime. We were FaceTiming for about an hour actually, and it was actually really actually quite nice. She showed me the rats on the video chat, told me all about their story and their care, told me a lot more stories about the sanctuary and things they're going through, and she told me a lot of information about like vet stuff as well, like things that can happen with different illnesses and stuff. So that was proper useful information for me to have. She gave me a lot of advice on my animal care as well, so obviously during the FaceTime I had to tell her a lot about like what food I give them, how much free range they get, financial stuff, can I guarantee that I'll be able to be here for them for their whole lives and stuff like that. And she did give me a lot of tips and stuff on my own care, which I'm extremely grateful to have. So this is actually their adoption form. I do have it with me. So I'm just going to read you guys out the things that they like made me sign and like agree to and like abide by. So number 1 is the animal remains the property of Tatty Ratties Sanctuary, who will retain an interest in it for the remainder of its life. The animal will not be used for breeding, feeding, experimental purposes, or any other profit-making activity. Should any problems occur where the animal can no longer be kept by the registered owner, Tatty Ratties Sanctuary must be contacted. They will accept any animal back for any reason. Those sort of things I had to sign, in my opinion, are really great. And to have someone like that at the end of the phone if I have any questions is actually I'm really happy that I've got that. Basically, the safety of my pets are pretty much guaranteed now coming from them, that if anything happens to me, all the rats will be safe with her and they'll take them back. So, okay, so I'm just going to tell you guys the story of the 3 little babies that I have, because it's actually a pretty insane story. So, basically, these 3 little babies were born to a feeder breeder. If you guys don't know what a feeder breeder is, it is basically someone who has their own snakes, and is breeding rats at home on their own to feed their snakes. I think that snakes, obviously, I used to have a snake myself. Snakes do need to eat. A lot of the issues with feeder breeders are, though, they're not as clued up on the bloodlines and genetics and things like that, and can often end up breeding rats that are really ill. And there can be some quite ugly stories about people who don't really know what they're doing, just breeding rats. There can be like a lot of inbreeding as well. I would personally never ever rehome animals from like a backyard breeder or a feeder breeder, especially not a feeder breeder, because you don't know how you don't know if they're feeding live. In my opinion, feeding live rats to snakes is so messed up and completely unnecessary and just really cruel. Or how they are killing the animals to be fed beforehand. It's just a whole kettle of fish that I just don't really think that you should be trying to get into. And a lot of these feeder breeders, they actually sell the rats on the side as well, because trying to make like a profit. Just so you guys know, a lot of the bigger breeders that aren't backyard breeders actually don't make a profit from breeding rats, because all of the money that it goes into taking care of the rats, the food and stuff, ultimately means that they actually don't end up making money. Whereas these feeder breeders and other backyard breeders and stuff, because their care is not up to scratch with what it should be, they do end up making a profit, which is why they do it. This feeder breeder obviously sells rats on the side as well. So they were bought from the feeder breeder and were rehomed again from that person. The lady who rehomed them had a group of girls and a group of boys at her house, bought these 3 rats. Didn't really know much about introductions and how to introduce rats. So it was a girl and 2 boys. And she just put the girl in the cage with the group of girls and the 2 boys in the cage with the group of boys. Obviously, it didn't go well and it resulted in injury on all of the new rats because you don't introduce rats like that. I think she had some mental health problems and basically decided that she needed to get rid of one of her groups because she had 2 separate cages and she decided she couldn't handle it. She just needed one. She advertised the girls, the group of girls, on a selling site or whatever. Somehow the sanctuary came across this ad and decided that they were going to step in and rescue the animals from her. When the sanctuary were at her house, they noticed that in the corner there was like a little Tupperware box with 3 rats inside it. And when I say Tupperware box, I mean like a box with like clips, and it was clipped down and there was no ventilation and there was nothing in the box, and it was a girl and 2 boys, and we all know what happens when you put a girl and 2 boys together in the same cage. The sanctuary obviously asked like, what's the deal with these rats? And she said that they had been beaten up by the other rats and she didn't have an extra cage, so she just put them in this box. She let them take them. She said that the reason that they weren't gonna mate in this box was because they were siblings. So this woman obviously really didn't know much about rat care, which is such a shame. That is how they were rescued by the sanctuary. At this point, I am their 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm their 5th home and their last home, 100%. Yeah, I'm just really excited to give them like a solid home and really take care of them and bond with them and give them the best life, introduce them to my other rats. I'm really happy that I've got them because honestly, they're such dear little souls. Okay, so that is the rescue story, and now I'm just gonna let you guys meet the new babies. So here they are. Hi boys. So this is the Siamese. This is albino girl here, and then this one is black hooded. They're all top ears, and this, she's so lovely. She gave me this cage as an introduction cage for all of them, gave me their hammock as well, all this bedding, which was just so nice of her. So this cage is now mine, and I'm just about to transfer them into their cage, and obviously I'm going to use this hammock that she gave me. And she said she reckons they're about 5 months old. The person where she actually got them from did say that they were 6 months, but judging by their size, I don't think they're 6 months. She doesn't think they're 6 months. Like, they are very, very small. I reckon they're about, she said they're about 5 months. And this is the girl here, the albino, and she did actually have mange. I'm not sure if you guys can see now, but her ears look kind of cropped. Try and get a good shot. Her ears are very small, and she reckons at the top part of her ears sort of came off with some mange that she might have had. The other boys didn't seem to suffer from it at all, so yeah, they've had a difficult life, haven't you? Haven't you, boys and girl? They're so cute, I just love them. Yeah, if you can see her ears. A little description that they have in the adoption form of the rats. Snow, which is a spayed female red-eyed white. The sanctuary did actually neuter the girl, obviously to stop them from mating with each other. Next is Toffee, which is black and white hooded. And the last one is Splodge, who is a Siamese rat. And I'm 100% changing their names. So the name that I've gone for Snow, which is the female, I've chosen the name Sea Bear, which obviously is a bit unconventional, but the way I came up with that name is basically her ears, the tops of her ears will never grow back, but she really reminds me of a polar bear, like just the way that she looks with her ears like that. She just really looks like a polar bear to me. And I was trying to find names for her and I googled polar bear in Latin, what it was, and I can't remember what it is, but the translation of that translates to sea bear in English. And so I just thought that that was like the cutest name ever, Sea Bear. And yeah, it just fit. It just seemed to really make sense with her. So yeah, she is called Sea Bear. She obviously will be the only female in the whole group of 7. She's very shy at the moment. I've only had them for about 4 days. She's very shy, but she seems very, very sweet, very calm, very relaxed. She seems very good-natured as well. She seems quite secure in herself, and honestly, she's so fucking cute. She's got a really small face. Next up is Toffee, and Toffee is the black and white hooded rat. I've decided to change his name to Panda. I really like naming animals as other animals, obviously, because my hamster is called Ducky and one of my rats is called Wolfie. And there's something that I just really like about naming animals as other animals. So far, Panda is by far the most confident. He seems very, very secure, quite excitable as well. He's always the first one out of the cage. He's an explorer. He's quite independent as well. I often find him chilling by himself in the cage. He doesn't need the attention of the others as much. He's very interested in humans, wants to know what's going on with like the adults, if you know what I mean. He's so confident. He's the most confident with me. He'll already come and like snuggle with me and stuff. I've got a feeling me and him are gonna be really great friends. So yeah, that's Panda. Next up is Splodge, which is the Siamese. I've decided to change his name to Smudge. No particular reason, I just prefer Smudge over Splodge. I don't really like Splodge. Smudge is so adorable. He's got ruby eyes. He is the biggest one. I'd say he's the boss. I'd say he's in charge. He's very, very excitable. He's the most like jittery and runny. I've seen him scent marking a lot as well. He's the only one who's really been scent marking. And he pushes the other ones around a little bit. He's a little bit more insecure. He's very timid. He kind of, like, I'll open the doors for them to free range and he'll kind of want to come out, but then kind of not want to come out. I've got a feeling he's gonna shoot his shot for alpha at some point when he's older. I reckon he's gonna be a bit of a dom. But I just really love his colouring. I've never had a Siamese rat before and I just really love his colouring. And they're all so sweet, man. Like, they're all so adorable. And I'm excited to have a long life journey with them. So yeah, those are my new rats and I really hope that you guys like them. Just some updates as well. I did manage to get Blackberry integrated into my big group. So the last you saw of my other rats was when I introduced Wolfie to my 2 older boys. Since then, I have successfully managed to get Blackberry in that group as well. So they are all living in one cage together. The 4 of them happily have been living like that for a couple weeks now. So that's all gone perfectly. So yeah, that is pretty much it from me today. So yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel as well. I put new videos out every week. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.